All right, everyone. Welcome to the Slam June 12th, 2003 week, summer in Nashville.
All right.
It's been a good one so far. We just got going. Everybody got here last night. My name is Greg Garner, and co-hosting with me, I have Mr. Benjamin Reese.
Hey, I'm Benjamin Reese. I am with Slam. I live here in Nashville.
There you go. And also, we have with us a good friend and old friend, Mr. Scott McDermott. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's nice to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Tell us, just a little bit about the journey here. What was the temperament of the group? How is everybody feeling? How's your team doing?
Yeah. So our church is located in Sheridan, Indiana, which is just north of Indianapolis. So about a 5-hour drive from Nashville. We had a great trip down. We stopped in Louisville on the way and hung out and played a little bit. And,
Nice.
The group is doing great. I mean, I think
Excellent.
Everyone's having a great time so far. They have never really done a youth mission trip before. They've always kind of had the camp experiences in the past that are more worship and then a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So this service component is new to our group. And I had kind of introduced this idea to the team and said, this is something that we should do. And so they're really banking on me to come through with this.
That's good. That's good.
So far, so good. I think the team is really doing well, and it seems like everyone's having a good time.
That's excellent. And this is Aubrey, right?
Yeah, this is Aubrey. She's one of our students. She's going to be a senior this year.
All right. That's great. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Sheridan, Indiana. I go to Noblesville High School, and I'm involved in the 6 Points Church youth group and the Unified Sports program at Noblesville High School.
That's awesome. What sport do you play?
I am a part of Unified Sports, which means I do flag football in the fall, bowling in the winter, and track and field in the spring.
Wow.
Now that's fun.
I've never heard of that phrase before, unified sports. Do you ever unify them into one like super event?
like a super flag bowling
Yeah.
experience.
All at the same time.
Right.
It's actually where people like me who are called partners work with students with disabilities who are referred to as athletes. And so it's actually something that's been started in Indiana for like the past 10 years as a partnership with Special Olympics.
That's so awesome.
That's super cool.
That's great. And so you get partnered up with someone who has a disability and you help them work through it all?
Kind of. We just operate as an entire team. And so we score points collectively as a team. And so it just creates this wonderful team dynamic that creates everlasting friendships.
Oh, love that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Gosh, that's amazing. And that's been happening in Indiana for 10 years, huh?
I think so.
Do we have anything like that in Tennessee?
I don't know.
I don't know if I've
What
heard
an
anything
amazing
like
You
program.
guys need to
Very
support
cool.
that. 'Cause
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so cool. That's great. Well, Scott, you were telling me that there might be a story to be shared here.
Yeah, so today we were putting on a kids camp at a low-income apartment complex, and we had a great day. We went door to door, knocking on doors, trying to get
Recruiting.
kids to come to our Campamento de Niños.
There it
There
is.
you go. Good
Yeah.
job.
Nice Spanish,
Excellent
like
there.
I practiced many times. And we ended up having about 14
Oh, that's
kids
great
come,
turnout.
which was good for the first day.
Yeah.
We kept
Oh, yeah, that's
encouraging
wonderful.
to bring their friends tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the kids had a great time. Our students had a great time. A lot of our kids do not speak Spanish, but Aubrey does. And so she was able to utilize that skill as both a translator, but I think it really helped her to connect with some of the kids, especially there was a group of girls that just followed her around like a shepherd kind of sheep.
That's awesome.
It was really neat to see, and I thought she might be able to share some of her
Yeah.
experiences.
Tell us something. Please.
Yeah, so when we got there, I've had like minimal Spanish experience, but I've gone up to Spanish 3. And so
Okay.
I knew that I had an ability with Spanish. And so I was like, I'm going to use this because I know that's what God would want me to do.
Hmm.
And so when I went from door to door, we kind of started learning that most of those in this community don't speak English and are actually like Spanish speaking first. And so it was amazing just to like talk with the parents and then see those kids show up and then be able to talk with them in Spanish and see that God brought along people who were bilingual, who were exceptionally bilingual and were able to translate effortlessly at like 5 or 6 or 7 years old from English to Spanish.
Yeah.
And it was just incredible for me to have this relationship with these young girls because of a language that I learned,
Yeah.
and that God allowed me this opportunity to go work at this camp, to meet these girls, and to have this connection in something that I never thought I would have
That
had
is
before.
amazing.
Yeah.
That is awesome. How does that feel for you to be used in that way by God?
It was kind of incredible because personally for me, I'm a perfectionist. And so
Ah.
it was really cool for me to like kind of feel this idea that I didn't need to be perfect whenever I spoke. I just
Right.
needed to get
Mm.
my point across, and kind of that like peace. And I'm usually like very frustrated if I don't do something perfect, but kind of God gave me this peace to kind of say,
Ah,
just do what you need to do and
Mm.
make sure that you make sure these girls have an amazing time and that they know what they're doing. And that kind of allowed me to kind of feel like I could be myself, but also form these friendships with
Mm.
these girls.
that sounds perfect to me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a powerful testimony. And Scott, like 14 kids coming out, and that's a first day, but
Yeah.
to me that's a great turnout.
Yeah.
Do you expect that there will be more kids coming out?
I do. Yeah, there were several families that told us like we can't come today, but we might come
Gotcha.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And there were kids who said they would try to invite their friends.
Yeah.
But even
Solid.
if those 14 are the only ones that come back,
Yeah.
they had a great time, and
Yeah.
they were laughing, they were smiling,
Yeah.
they were
Because it's wild to think about that. If it weren't for you guys coming out, these kids are going to be in their house with a bag of chips and television all
Right,
day
right.
with
Yeah.
nothing to do, no one to care for them. Because unfortunately and typically, families are having to work and they're having to figure out other things to do. And this guarantees that they get a positive experience, which is pretty phenomenal. What did you guys have on the agenda though? Did you do like skits or
Yeah.
songs or what was
So
it?
we'd worked with some of our students to plan crafts, and then games, and then Bible stories for each day. We picked a theme. The Little Mermaid movie just came out, so we
Right.
picked Under the Sea. As our
Okay, I
theme.
like it. Yeah.
And so all of our Bible stories are water based. Like today was Noah and the Ark. And so anyway, each day we'll have a Bible story skit, and they got to participate. They were the animals, and they
Yeah.
got on the boat. And so we're going to try to make it as interactive as possible.
Is all
That's
the Bible
awesome.
stories water themed?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
Moses.
Under the sea,
They're
man.
crossing
Yeah,
the
it's
Red
gotta
Sea.
be.
It's Jonah and the fish.
I mean,
I think
if
that's
you're gonna
brilliant.
choose an element, water is a pretty good one for
Yeah.
the Bible.
Not
I know,
bad.
right? So it fit well. And our students took really the lead on planning and implementing. So
How's that feel for you?
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun to
Yeah.
watch them do it.
Yeah.
And one of our other students, one of her good friends, Miley, was in charge of our crafts, and looked up all the crafts on Etsy or not Etsy. What's the thing?
Pinterest.
Pinterest. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Come on.
Pinterest.
Pinterest.
I don't even know. And had it all planned, told me what to buy. I went to Hobby Lobby. I don't know anything about crafts, but I was like, put it on a list. I'll buy it. So
yeah.
I bought the popsicle sticks. We brought them to Nashville. And then, these kids sat around and made little fish out of paper plates and cupcake thingies.
Liners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
That's
and Aubrey,
awesome.
you think they had a good time?
I think they definitely had an amazing time, and I don't think they wanted to leave.
Aw.
And they kind of felt like this was a one-day experience, and so we had to explain that they're able to come back tomorrow, but they like took all of our bubbles, like all of this Play-Doh, and you could see like when we were pulling out that all of these kids who had been playing with bubbles were like playing around in their driveways, and it was just incredible
Aw.
for me because one of the girls I really connected with, I took her back to her apartment, and her father was sitting out there with a group of other Spanish speaking men, and it was just kind of incredible for her to like for me to walk her there and kind of have that relationship, and then be able to see like how much this camp meant to him and to his daughter at the same time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's
and I've
really
noticed that too, that these camps can have a long-term impact because they can often give ideas for how kids can play together and things that they can do, and just open up their mind to be like, hey, we could be more creative this summer and,
Yeah.
do these projects together. And
That's right.
So it's pretty cool.
And something that we do as an organization is you guys in this way are kind of like sometimes little missionaries that are being sent out into like new environments, and that begins the relationship that culminates for us into driver's training courses
Right.
and language learning courses and scholarshiping some of their people to various other certification programs that helps lift that community a bit. So it's a pretty important role that you guys are playing, and I want to say thank you for that. In a second, we're going to be back, and another student is going to be joining us, and he goes by the name Wasabi. So in a second, we'll be back with Wasabi. Thank you, Aubrey. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Aubrey.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your slam trip.
I will.
Excellent.